Hi everyone. It seems that we should be live now. Uh, just before I start with all the things here, I don't know how this is gonna play out on your end. I mean, the viewership and all that. It's because I do have a message here that you guys may experience buffering because basically it says that there isn't enough video feed for a smooth streaming, although at my streaming software it shows that I am feeding YouTube on the rate that YouTube does requires it. So the issue is not on my end. Hello Ella, welcome to the stream. And Kieran, thank you so much for your twice of $3 support. One for me, one for Pisces Moonbeam. Thank you, Karen. Let's put those into the list. Me, one for Pisces Moonbeam. All right. Thank you, Karen. All right, guys. So with that set aside, let's check on the. Oh my God! Only yours? Well, if that's the case, I guess you don't need any other confirmation that it's pretty much over, or it should be the very least on your end, that is, because it's you have your own dignity, right? So I don't know, that's my opinion. Okay, so that's yeah, it's a real piece of work, eh? Hello, Jackie. Right, so back to the collective reading. If you had pay attention to the thumbnail, guys, you would have saw 4 cards being there. And they represent the collective reading for the week. I'm gonna show them to you one more time. So the first one, that is to be the Sun card, followed by the second one, which stands as the Devil card. Moving on, next we do have the Ten of Pentacles, and the final one, we do have the Moon card. So the week that we have just entered, we gotta take it rather very easy, especially on the new opportunities, at least according to these cards. There are going to be quite of a few situations into our environment one way or another. The things are going to look rather way too good to be true, and they are going to be way too good to be pretty much true. And it is a week where we should strive not to get ourselves engaged with activities that we are gonna have ourselves being attached to in one way or another. So it's not a good week to withdraw, or for example, to get a loan. It's not a good week to sign up some kind of a contract. It's not a good week in generally to give promises as well. These are all things that are gonna make us dependent on something, and it's a week where we should strive instead to get out of dependency, live up to promises, repay debts, and so on and so forth. But into the general scheme of things, guys, as the week stands, oh, I will, Ella, I will. Don't worry about that. Thank you so much for your $50 support. Thank you, Ella. Listen, I'm not gonna say it here live, okay? Uh, what I'm gonna say to you is that it's pretty much his loss, right? And the very least, now you have your freedom back, okay? Because look at your situation that way. You are fading for him, because that's literally what was happening, right? You are fading for him because things weren't working out in between you two very well. And on the back of your mind, you always had the hope that, things are gonna get well. And now, when you have your confirmation that they want, you are free again to do what you like. And I always tend to repeat myself that if you don't take care for your own happiness, no one else is going to. And that's your chance, Ella. Start doing things that are going to make you happy, that are not depending on anyone else. Okay, that's pretty much how I'm rolling forward. And hold on a second, guys. I need to put my air conditioner because I'm gonna fry myself here. So, and that is what exactly the week is all about. Don't get yourself being dependent on something or even on someone. For you, I would say, and that's something, by the way, that Pisces Moonbeam told me once. It is one of the smartest things, by the way, that she told me. Um, I don't want to sound like she never told me a smart thing, but that is one of the smartest things. And she told me that when someone hurts you, or especially in your case, when someone breaks up with you, the biggest revenge that you can do to them is to show them that you can live a better life without them. And by the way, that is something I said today on a private reading as well, and it was like a premonition for the other person, because that's literally the best thing you can do, to show that person that life is better without them. And you can do that. You can have a good life now. But back to the reading, guys. So, like I said, and like I showcased here with Ella, that it's a week where we need to get ourselves out of a dependencies. And once we do so, the environment is gonna hit us. And when I say it's going to hit us, it means that it's going to have a full application on us. And the environment is marked with the Sun card. So once we do get out of these dependencies and we don't have to follow one stipulation or another stipulation, then we get to attend to things and situations and in generally enterprises that have a expanding energies of growth for us. And when I do say that, I mean a natural development. Pushing up for something is not going to make it work or happen in a way that is going to make us happy or is going to work for us in a long term. So instead, that's a week where we should just let it roll. Okay, and whatever unfolds, and whatever unfolds is something that we should invest into, rather than being beguiled into a situations or things, like I said, that are not going to work for us. And how we are going to recognize those situations? Well, it's going to be tempting. Okay, and just we should not fall for a temptations, at least throughout the week. And should we be true to that? Meaning moving forward with what naturally wants to develop for us, then by the end of the week, it seems that it's not like we're gonna accomplish something great, but we are definitely on the path to do so, right? So if you have lost your way, if some of you guys had lost your ways, by the end of the week, rest assured you're gonna find them one more time. It's a great week, by the way, of mending friendships. So if you do have a friend that you are not in a good terms with and you do want to change that, that's the week you do it, basically. So let me put you, Ella, into the list here. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end. where you're going to get your reading. And believe me, it's going to be a good one. So with that said, guys, we are set to do the weekly readings for the 12 star signs. I'm going to start from Aries, and I'm going to end up with Pisces at the end. Oh my God. And also there are going to be three readings giveaway. One is gonna happen after Cancer, another one is gonna happen after Scorpio, and the last one is gonna take place after Pisces. And all that you gotta do to get a free reading is just wait for those moments when I do announce it, and just input a question that you want me to answer using tarot cards into the comments down below. And I'm usually giving 5 minutes, and after that time expires, I'm going to pick one of these questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that particular question. Other than that, if you do wish a personal reading with me, you can always go to my website, which you can find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. And finally, anyone who supports the channel and the stream through super chat, you guys are going to get a reading at the end of it. That's pretty much given. And should your super chat be above $20 or $20 or above, you're going to get that very same 4-card reading that I am going to do for every single star sign, but this time around is going to be personalized to you. So with that said, let's start with Aries going first. Hey Zebra, nice to have you back. And Marilyn, welcome to the stream. So first one for Aries, that is going to be the Three of Pentacles. Moving on, next we do have the Devil, followed by Judgment is the third one. And the fourth card for Aries, this is going to be the Hierophant. The Hermit, I'm sorry, not the Hierophant, but the Hermit. So these 4 cards here. And for Aries, the week actually is going to be more or less, for the lack of better words, guys, I am gonna say brainstorming week, because throughout the week you will receive a lot of a criticism, but that criticism is going to be quite constructive criticism. This isn't going to be a criticism, for example, like you suck in this, or you know, pointless criticism, which I was given many times, that I should kind of like sign myself into an English teaching school so they teach me how to pronounce the words correctly. That's such an ignorant comment. But in any case, it's going to be a criticism that, yeah, it's going to criticize you into what you are doing wrong, but also that criticism is going to be a constructive one, telling you how you can do it better. Okay. And should you kind of like decide to take on this criticism, listen to it instead of playing the almighty game that you know and can everything, then by the end of the week you should be indulging yourself with rather quite substantial rewards and quite of a important fallouts of your work. And the fallouts are going to be in a good sense of that particular word. Some of you, I would like to think many of you, Aries, by the end of the week are going to be standing in front of a huge destination, or how can I put it into words, a huge, big of a deal, so to speak. Now, these how can I put it into words, these criticisms, if you do listen to them, because they are going to be from a people that on a high places, and when I say high places, I mean people that are above you, right? If you start listening to these criticism, these people are going to support you, they are going to help you, and this is going to provoke cooperations, fruitful discussions, etc, etc, etc. And by the way, from one of these criticisms, or from few of those, it's gonna click in. Okay, it's gonna click in how you can improve, whether into your love life, whether into your career, whether into your business ventures, etc, etc. Very, very important is to listen to feedback, Aries, within the next week. All of it is going to be fruitful. Mattia, thank you so much for your $10 support. Thank you, Mattia. You will have that immediate guidance. All right, so that was Aries. Now moving on, next we do have Taurus. First one for Taurus, that will be the Five of Cups, followed by the Nine of Pentacles. Moving on next, for Taurus, that is going to be the Tower card. And the final one, again, the Hermit. So for a Taurus, the week is going to be a bit tense. Okay, now what happens is that you guys are gonna get yourself disappointed one way, or either you will disappoint yourself, or someone is gonna disappoint you, and to some of you it may be so deep and hurtful that you can consider it as a loss. I mean, the disappointment could be so big from a friend of yours that you may consider that you have lost that friend. Okay, the thing about it though is that these losses or these disappointments, they are just temporary thing. Whatever you lose, you can let's say regain back. So for example, if within this week it happens that you get yourself disappointed by someone you date and you just can't date with them anymore, that's fine, move on, and very soon you're going to start dating someone else on different terms, which are going to be better terms. Okay, should that disappointment be in your work and you just cannot work with that person anymore, same thing. Okay, you don't have to put up with these stuff anymore. The thing about those cards is that, yeah, there are disappointing situations, there are disappointing people as well, but in the general scheme of things, or in the grand scheme of things, so to speak, you should not abandon the idea in general. What I mean is that, yeah, it is unfortunate that you were dating a person who disappointed you, but that doesn't mean that you have to stop dating, right? Or yeah, you worked with someone who deprived you of certain results, etc., etc. Doesn't mean that you should stop cooperating, just not with that kind of people. So you can consider this week as a learning curve. Okay, definitely a learning curve. And in fact, having the Nine of Pentacles into the second position works in your favor, although it's in a disadvantageous position, and pretty much speaks that these depravities, let's put it that way. So these depravities, they are not as important as you may think they are. They are not as substantial and impactful, so to speak, as you may make them to be. And should you be able to look past or rather like, yeah, should you be able to look past it, so to speak, and just put yourself together, move on, embrace that, so to speak, transformation, because the very least you will know now how you stand. Yeah, it's going to be unpleasant, that is to say the least. It will allow you to restructure your future, because whatever you get disappointed yourself from throughout the week, you are never going to let that thing happen to you again. And something I said recently, better now than when you are, say, 10 years from now, right? Or 15 years from now. Because time is something we can make money, we can make love, we can make friends, we can make almost anything. We cannot make time, and we cannot make health. So it's better now, not wasting your time, rather than 10 years, 15 years from now, okay? And you also being able to move past that disappointment. You also, by the end of the week, are going to start stabilizing and establish an important direction for yourself. And instead of approaching the matter in a term of emotional content, you are going to start looking at the matter from an angle of intelligence and wisdom. Therefore, you're not going to allow anymore to be emotionally exploited in such kind of a situations that you're going to end up disappointed with throughout the week. But yeah, Taurus, you gotta buckle up, guys, because it's not going to be easy on you, unfortunately. Jackie, I'm from Bulgaria, but I don't talk with Bulgarian accent. My accent is from all over the place. The Bulgarian accent is more like Russians. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the stream. All right, next one, guys. Gemini. First one for Gemini, that is going to be the Death card. Moving on next, we do have Judgment, Justice. I'm sorry, that's Justice. Followed by Two of Pentacles. And the final one, we do have the Tower. This is going to be a hard hit on you as well, Gemini. It seems that throughout the week, it's going to become apparent, not just only apparent, but this is an expression in our country, which is eye gouging, right? Just you cannot deny it anymore, that you gotta change your ways, okay? You gotta change your ways, because things aren't working anymore, and they aren't gonna work to extreme cases, all right? Or rather, like through to a extreme lens. Having the Justice into the second position, it's kind of like speaks that throughout the week, things that are happening to you, you wouldn't have been able to explain why they're happening, what you did wrong. And yeah, it's just what you did wrong. And the answer is literally nothing. You did nothing wrong, but you cannot teach the fish to fly, right? You gotta teach the bird to fly. So instead of going and trying to teach the fish, you gotta start teaching the bird. What I mean is that you gotta change, yeah, you gotta change your ways. You gotta change your hobbies or the way you are approaching stuff, you know, or the circles that you are finding yourself into. So that is going to be more like a transition that you are gonna go through throughout the week, but you are gonna learn the hard way that you gotta start doing those stuff. And the hardest it's gonna hit you throughout the end of the week, for what we can see here with the Tower card. Especially hard is going to be on those of you guys who are stubborn and who just doesn't want to see through the circumstances that obviously isn't working out. Okay, like for example, you're trying to make the same deal over and over again and nobody is buying it, all right, but you don't want to change the aspects of the deal. Well, by the end of the week, something is going to shatter. And under something, I mean within this aspect, it is just whatever you have built within the aspect that you got to start changing stuff is going to be ruined. Literally is going to fall apart, all of it. And you have to start picking up the pieces and rebuilding it. But this time around, you have to start rebuilding it with in the new way. Literally, the Two of Pentacles into the third position with the Death card being into the first one says that your methods, views, concepts and plans for that particular aspect of your life is going to be different for each one of you. Strongly outdated. They are way overdue and they have to be readopted now. So yeah, it's a period where you have to make that transition. And I wanna emphasize on something. These two cards, we do have the Death card and the Tower card. Okay, the Death card comes as an environment. This is how the week starts, and that is where little by little you are going to see that you do have a choices, right? Little by little you're going to start seeing that you have a choice to change that thing for another, or to replace one thing with another. And if you don't take those choices, right, we are approaching the Tower now. That is the moment where the choices are made for you. And that is the difference in between sacrifice and loss. At the start of the week, you have a chance to make the sacrifices needed in order to move forward. By the end of the week, if you haven't made those sacrifices, they are going to be made for you, and they are not going to be sacrifices anymore. They are going to be losses, and you don't want to have any losses, right? Karen, or rather like Pisces Moonbeam, thank you for your 3 Canadian. That is going to be for Karen. I'm sorry guys, I'm sorry for Gemini. It's not one of the most positive readings, but it is what it is. Just for anyone who is new, we don't sugarcoat stuff here into this channel. All right, so that was Gemini. Moving on, next we do have Cancer. Anna, thank you so much for your $20 support. Thank you, Anna. Make sure that you do stick around. You do stick around by the end of the stream. Where you're gonna get your personalized reading. All right, Cancer. First one, that is going to be the Hierophant, followed by the second card for Cancer, which is Justice. That Justice is coming up a lot. Moving on, next we do have the Three of Pentacles, and the final one, that is going to be the Ace of Swords. So this is going to play out, guys, differently should these cards refer to your love life or to your career. Okay, So let's start with the love life. The week is going to be great because it seems that you are going to interact with specific individual, but you are going to take your time with it, okay? Or that person is going to take its time with you, not because you want to play with them or they want to play with you, but because the reliability and the trust in between each other needs to grow. So in other words, you are going to feel a strong incentive, so to speak, to get to know each other better before you start doing anything bigger than just, for example, talking or cooperating in a certain way, because you don't want to make you don't want to blow your chance, let's put it that way. You both will not gonna want to blow your chances. The problem with that, by the look of those cards, Cancer, it is that you may start requiring a bit more than you can be given at that particular time, given the stage of your relationship. And that falls the same way with the person that you are to talk with within that particular week. And by the end of the week, those conversations, those speeches, they are going to become more and more profound, more and more truthful, more and more open, where it's going to be cut to the chase right away. And you both are going to divulge to one another how you exactly stand within this interaction or within this relationship. Now, in terms of career, the week is going to be even better because it seems that there are going to be a lot of approach that is going to come your way, maybe not from my clients, but from people who will want to work with you. For example, if you are an influencer, you can expect a lot of companies to require your service as a paid promotion. All right, if you are someone that you work in a big company, you can expect people to come and offer their services, or rather like to want to work with you on a certain specific project, and so on and so forth. So there will be a lot of how can I put it into words, a lot of engagement here, so two parties or multiple parties can grow together. And that is going to be a natural way to move forward. And for what those cards stands, it seems that throughout that particular week, you will have quite a, I can't say really fun, but more like a sense of accomplishment for doing your job. Okay. Now, the only problem that can be seen within those cards, it is that you may mix up a little bit of a responsibilities. What I mean, something that it is with a bigger sense of emergency, you may find yourself being inclined to leave it for later than in favor of another endeavor that can be left for later, but you would prefer to push it first. So that kind of like a lack of discernment what is more important than the other, but it's not going to be a big issue. And by the end of the week, in terms of your career, you pretty much can expect to build up some kind of a courage and strength. I don't know what that is about, but there will be some kind of a attempt to push a breakthrough from your behalf. So hopefully that's something good for all of you. All right, so that is for the first 4 star signs, and now we are entering into the first break. Within that break, one of you is going to get a free reading, and all you got to do, guys, is just input a question into the comments down below, and in about 5 minutes, I'm going to pick one of these questions and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Should there be no questions, I'm just going to move on with the next 4 star signs, which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and after that, the fan favorite, or I would say my favorite, Scorpio, because I'm Scorpio. But yeah, to address your question, Jackie, about my accent, it's from all over the place because I'm talking with people from many different regions of the world, and I'm just picking up from them. I do have a little bit of a Scottish accent, probably a little bit of Australian as well. All right, let's cut it short here because we do have only one question that is going to be Marilyn Shank. Should I move out of state? So let's check on what is going to be the result if you decide to do so, but I cannot make that choice for you, Marilyn. You got to do it yourself. Right, the first card, that is going to be the Seven of Swords, followed by Five of Wands. Moving on next, that will be the Queen of Cups. And the final one, we do have the Nine of Cups. The transition, at least up until, hold on a second. The mid of February is going to be rather rocky, very rocky. There are Maryland going to be quite of unexpected circumstances which are going to come out of nowhere. And the thing it is that nobody is going to have control over them. So it's not like you're going to be lied or anything for whatever you are going outside of states. It's just things are going to start popping up, all right? And you will find it a bit difficult to control that state, but things are going to normalize after the mid of February next year. So it's entirely up to you if you do want to put up with all that, or you wanna wait a little bit longer. But according to these cards, moving out of state, the way you are mentioning, is gonna play a good role on your fulfillment. Rather, like when you do it and you kind of like stabilize there, you are gonna feel joy, and it's kind of like you are gonna have that fullness of life. I don't know where you're planning to move, but it seems a good place, at least to me. And also, you will be able to, if you are looking for it, though, you will be able to find a stable job and also a stable love life there. Chandra, thank you so much for your $5 US, 4.99, $5 US. Thank you, Chandra. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end of the stream, where you're going to get your personalized reading for the week. Thank you again, Chandra. All right, guys. I don't understand that. Lovely scent. You're welcome. Marilyn. All right, moving on next, we do have Leo. First one for Leo, that is going to be Temperance, followed by the Two of Wands. Afterwards, we do have the King of Pentacles. And the final one, that is going to be the Seven of Pentacles. And I'm going to draw one more card for the King of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles. Hey, Star Lover. Welcome to the stream. So, it's your week is going to be rather quite quiet, Leo, apart from that you are to be approached by this King of Pentacles person. That could be, by the way, a man or a woman, but they are definitely coming with an, it's not an offer, it's more like I give you that, you give me this. Okay, that's the incentive, instead of I am willing to give you, or like I am willing to offer you. It's more like an exchange rather than opportunity. Okay, so you are to be approached by that individual. Again, it could be a man, it could be a woman, and they will look to secure you for a very, very long time. Now, according to the cards, it's a good deal. But again, I cannot make choices for you, Leo, and you will have to decide pretty much for yourself. And that is going to be the biggest thing that the week has to offer. Now, aside from that, it looks like that things are going to be quite okay when it comes to your career and when it comes to your relationship. But the biggest winner here, it is social interactions, because throughout the week it is just people, how can I put it into words, those who disagree with you, it seems that they are gonna learn to respect you even though they do not agree with your opinion. So still you won't be able to get through to certain people, but they are not going to be such big of a villains into your particular, into your life. And also it's a good week where you can it's a good week where you can, how can I put it into words? Well, it's kind of a relative, okay, or rather like a subjective, because temperance is in an environment, it is when you kind of like find the sweet spot and into things, okay. In some things you may be way overperforming or way overactive, in other things you may be slacking, and it is a good week to level up those behaviors, so you can find, how can I put it into words, so you can find again the sweet spot, the middle path, the most convenient way. And suffice to say here, throughout the week, if things doesn't want to work out for you, we do have that Two of Wands into the second position, that is pretty much building up on top of achievements. So that will be something that you won't find it beneficial, or rather like you won't find an opportunity to do that. But that is just for the week, guys. So it's a week where you, how can I put it into words, you align rather than you expand. Okay, that's how the whole thing should play out for you. But again, when that person approaches you with this, you give me that, I give you this, or rather like I give you this, you give me that, it's a good deal, again, according to the cards. Who is your sister, Narali? I hope I do pronounce your name correctly. All right, next one, we do have Virgo. First one for Virgo, 10 of Wands. Moving on next, guys, we do have the Hierophant. Afterwards is going to be the Emperor. And the final one, the Ace of Swords. There are going to be a lot going on with you throughout the week. Mundane stuff, okay? It's not going to be one specific enterprise. Things are going to be moving around everywhere within your love life, within your career as well. And it is going to feel very, very awkward. It's gonna feel in some cases even unnatural, out of character, so to speak. But throughout the week, you gotta present yourself. It's a very short reading, by the way. You gotta present yourself strong, unwavering, so to speak, that your resolve stands and you will not bail whatsoever, but instead eager to gain control, to regain control, and structurize everything that you have. It simply, this is how it stands. Throughout the week, there will be only one way to do the right thing. You will know that that's the way. It's not going to be like a mystery or anything. And all that you gotta do is do it, right? All that you gotta imply it is to do that right way. The problem is going to be it is that there are many things that you will know what the right way of doing it is, and you will have to be everywhere at all times. Oh my god, I'm sorry. So you will have to be everywhere at all times, and you will find it very, very difficult to have to take a break, all right, to rest for a while, to have time for yourself as well. So it's a call to arms, right? You can expect very busy week looking for work. You can expect very busy week working. You can expect very busy and demanding week within your love life as well, and as well within your friendships. It's gonna be literally every single where. But by the end of the week, it seems that you will have the most of it sorted out, or at least the most important parts being sorted out. And you know, these scenes where you close the door behind your back and you kind of like make that relieving sigh, right? And that's exactly how it's going to be. It's finally over. I did a good job. Next week, please. And that's pretty much it. But you gotta keep up with the rules, right? You cannot cut any corners. You cannot suck things if you want, of course, the rewards at the end. You cannot neglect. That's very important. Well, that's a trend now. I don't know, Pisces Moonbeam can tell us something if it is happening into the sky, but I am dealing right now with a lot of people that recently separated. It's just, I don't know what is going on. I guess I am grateful that I am not in a relationship, so I don't have to put through it as well. All right, moving on next, we do have Libra. Uh, nine of Wands for Libra, followed by the Tower. Afterwards, we do have the Two of Cups. And the final one for Libra, that is going to be the Seven of Pentacles. Hey, Ginger. Um, it's gonna be a rocky week for Libra as well. It is just things are gonna get out of hand very quickly, very fast. Not necessarily in a bad way, right? Because it could be, it could happen in in many cases, guys, or rather, like the development could happen in many cases. So let me give you an example. Tomorrow or the day after, you got yourself invited in some kind of a social gathering. You go there and you meet a person you never saw before, and you just cannot take your eyes off of them, right? And you cannot think for anything else but that person. And things, and they do the same thing, and things escalate very quickly, and they get out of hand, right? Very, very quickly. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing, just is going to be out of your control. And I do believe that we are talking about a romantic incentive. Okay, so if you are in a good marriage, okay, if you are in a blossoming relationship, I think that you are off for trouble throughout the week, but that doesn't mean that you are going to cheat or anything, right? It will be just how strong you are spiritually, because you can definitely withstand what is going to start going on. But definitely we do have the Nine of Wands with the Two of Cups sitting representatively into the first and the third position. That definitely gives us the love incentive, the meeting and the emotions which are starting to flow from one person to another without having any obstructions whatsoever. But regardless of are you going to try to fight it or not, by the end of the week it seems that you will strongly contemplate on the situation that you had to go through one way or another. Within a business it's a little bit more mild, a little bit. That is where, yeah, things are gonna start falling apart, but people are gonna rally around you, and also you will have a chance to, can I put it into words, to shift stuff so you can salvage. And you will be able to salvage by the end of the day or by the end of the week. It is just by the end of the week you will contemplate why, the situation escalated in such a way, why you lost control. That will be the whole reason, or rather like the whole experience when it comes to your career. It's a great week to try new stuff, or rather like it's a great week to put your glance into aspects of your enterprises that you think you can do better and try to do them better, and you will succeed into that. It's a week where you should imply a can I put it into words, conscious changes that you want to do instead of waiting for the universe to change stuff for you, and you will be successful in all of them. Okay, so if you want to change your line of work, if you want to change the way you do stuff, and so on and so forth, that's a great week for you to do it. But for you lovely single souls, I guess it's a great week. I think my Mars is in Libra, I believe. Right, so that was Libra. Now moving on, next we do have Scorpio. Hmm. We do have the Star card, followed by the Chariot. Moving on next, that is going to be the King of Pentacles. And the fourth one, it is the Ace of Cups. For the King of Pentacles, oof, we do have the King of Cups. Wow, I am so looking forward to that. I literally don't know how this is gonna play out in my life, but that is now the gift, right? That is now where someone just wanna gift you a big thing, okay? Like gift you their love, like gift you their I don't know, their everything, if you will, okay? Um, with these two, a passive friends, very strong for a again, it's like a, hold on a second, it's like an offer, but it's not exactly an offer, because literally you don't have anything to lose from it, only gaining, and you don't have to give anything in return. It's just it's given to you, and I don't know why, right? But I guess it's happening throughout the week, so strongly advisable, take it. It could be having the Ace of Cups at the end, guys. Most likely it's about a love offer. Haven't I drew for myself that last time when it came to the Lenormand reading? I did, so I guess it's coming down this week. I'm curious to see who that one is going to be. But yeah, most likely again love incentive for Scorpio, and the star card consolidates it at the start of the reading, which pretty much shows that that is going to be literally an unfolding one, guys, right? But as a general reading, I should say a couple of things for career as well. And should we looking for a career? To me, that smells like internship. Like, you wanna be at a certain place and work for a certain company or work a certain job. And this week is gonna be your lucky week where you are to be presented with an offer to do just that or something very, very similar to it. Okay. Just to give you an example, with myself, that's a real story. I was working for a company, I was an engineer there, and I was seeing that guy coming around all the time, inspecting their production and all that. And he was working for that big company that was placing the purchase orders. And I said, I want to be like that guy, right? I want to work that. And one day, without me even trying to find such a job, the job found me, the very, very same one, right? So that is the magnitude that we do have here. Out of nowhere, we are just proposed, whether engagement, whether a job, whether a relationship. It's just we are proposed, and it will be a sincere one. It will be a genuine proposal. There is no need for us to deny it. There is no need for us to skip it. And if we do take it, that will transcend our reality into something we are gonna freaking love it. The issues. Well, the issue in relationship or in love, it is that we may dive into it way too prematurely, like, speed up the process very, very quickly. While in career, the issue may be that we may do things a little bit harder than they are supposed to do, like seeing challenges in a places where there are no challenges. It's a pretty simple procedure. We don't have to brainstorm it. We don't have to make big efforts. We just have to follow steps. That is pretty much the challenges that we will have to face throughout the week. I am. Why are you asking that, Ginger? Thank you for asking, by the way. Alright guys, so that concludes Scorpio, and now the second free reading is going to take place. Should you want a free reading from me, input a question that you want me to read for, and in about 5 minutes I'm going to pick one and I'm going to perform a professional reading on that question, if there are any questions. Should there be no questions, I'm just going to move to the next 4 star signs, which are going to be Aquarius, Capricorn, rather like Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Taco, thank you so much for your 22 US dollars. And I'm so glad you made it, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I will make that message for you. And that you are recovering. So the advice to go to a doctor was the right one, I guess. Oh no, Ginger. I'm quite fine. Jackie, if I do take your question, what kind of a chances you are hoping to find? I need to know that so I know what I'm looking for. Well, I'm hope that I am glad that you are okay now, mate. And yeah, it is a recurring issue. Hopefully, it's not gonna be any longer. But it is crazy. Yeah, I mean, abscess is it's not a joke. That thing kills. All right, Jackie, is gonna be your question. Let's check it out. What are you talking about? I don't like change. I like my life exactly the way it is, and I don't like change. Those are the cards. This is for the next 6 months, Jackie. Okay, tarot doesn't cover up your life, your lifetime. This is for the next 6 months, and if you decide to move within the next 6 months, you will feel better, but you are not gonna be as successful. Okay, So you gotta trade. Do you want to feel better but having a difficulty finding a good job and probably, you know, good opportunities, or you do want to feel like you need change and be in a good place with, you know, with your livelihood? It's your choice. Yeah, for the next 6 months it doesn't look like that you're gonna find good opportunities there. The biggest issue, Jackie, it is that you most likely are going to be undervalued, and you will have to start working way on a way lower place, or rather like in a way lower position than you actually are qualified for. But you are definitely going to be undervalued, because finding the job is not going to be the problem. The problem is going to be how good of a job that is going to be. You can decide for yourself what you want to do. All right, that concludes the second free reading, guys. Couple of minutes, and I am going to move on to the next 4 star signs. And after that, the last free reading is going to take place. But anyone who supports the stream through super chat, you're going to get a reading at the end of it. That's pretty much given. But should you wish your personal time with me or personal reading with me, you can go to my website, and there at the very front page you can see full list of my services and as well their pricing. Mm. Well, that's such a comparison, Ginger. We are not babies. We do not shit in our own pants, right? We do not do that. We know where to eat and we know where to shit, right? So there is a difference. But I guess if you are a criminal, change is good, because what you do, it's a shitty work, isn't it? So you gotta change your diaper rather very, very frequently. All right. Moving on next, we do have Sagittarius. Yeah, it's whatever floats your boat, you know. But if you are afraid of change, you definitely should not make change if you totally don't have to, because there is no point, you know, being uncomfortable with what you are doing. If you are feeling uncomfortable with what you are doing, it's not worth doing it, especially if you are settled. That's my opinion, though. I mean, everybody can think whatever they want to think. You're welcome, Jackie. All right, Sagittarius, Four of Swords, followed by Seven of Swords. Moving on next, that is going to be the Ace of Cups. And the final one, we do have the Page of Cups. Okay, so You know, guys, I do have 4 planets in Sagittarius, and yet there isn't more distant star sign for me to understand of a Sagittarius. It's just I can't tap into it. So I don't know if what I am telling it's common for Sagittarius or not. But for what those cards are showing here, it is that you, Sagittarius, are going to be, how can I put it into words? Uh, Corrected in a sense of that exposed, being told what to do, and you will find it that that is the right thing to do. And I don't know if you like to be told what to do. Now, we do have a week which is going to be mainly devoted to a conversations. You will talk with someone specific person or a specific organization. This isn't going to be just a random talks about random topics. This is going to be about a very, very specific narrative, very specific topic here. And those discussions are going to be really, really deep. And what is going to come out of it is that you will understand that what you are doing, it's just only one side of the coin, only one side of the deal, only oh yeah, well, that explains it a lot, that you are selfish basically. 7 of Swords into the second position, exactly that. Well, into that follow-up, it pretty much means that you do what you want to do and the hell with the world, right? The world, for all you care, can burn for as long as you do what you want to do. And you are to be shown that that's not how the world operates, that no one does it by himself, okay? And if you want to do it with someone, whether relationship, whether business, whatever the case, right? You pretty much have to live up to certain standards, and you will see the truth into it. And believe it or not, you are gonna like it this time around, or rather, like for a change, to be part of something, okay? To be part of this cooperative endeavor. That is literally the spiritual side of the reading. Other than that, you can expect on the material front here, you can expect a lot of concerns of yours to simply vanish. They are no longer going to be literally relevant. Okay, for example, someone broke up with you and you are in an emotional turmoil. Well, this week, then you can expect that no longer to be relevant, because who know, you found out that they are a scumbag. You have found a new person to date, and so on and so forth. It's just this heartbreak. It's no longer going to be relevant. Or you owe money to someone, and that is a big concern, and that person suddenly get jailed. Well, you still owe those money, but you don't have to pay them back because that person is not around anymore. And so on and so forth, you know. So you can expect concerns of yours which really, really troubles you to literally go down the drain. And you are ending up here the week where, especially in the spiritual front, you will understand that selfishness, it cannot get you far. Yeah, it can build up, how can I put it into words? It can build up a certain value at the certain stage, but it cannot get you far. And with that Page of Cups at the end of the week, you're going to start changing your how you address stuff around. You're basically going to make a crucial self-assessment, and based on that self-assessment, you will change or readopt certain positions toward one person or another, toward one enterprise or another. All right, so that was for Sagittarius. Now moving on, next we do have Capricorn. first one for Capricorn, a 5 of Swords. Moving on next, we do have the 7 of Swords, followed by Justice, and the final one is going 10 of Swords. Oh my god. I will need a minute here. To your end, you will know what is needed, and it's not going to be a pretty thing. So, for example, to the end of getting the job, you will know what you gotta do. It will pretty much gonna be obvious. It's gonna come up throughout the week, okay? But are you willing to do it? Because it's not gonna be a pretty thing to either do or to either say. Same thing goes when it comes to your relationship as well. It is just within the week, your back is gonna be against the wall like never before, but not necessarily like in a struggling way, but more like in a way how far you can stretch what you can do and get away with. Okay, this is how your back is going to be against the wall, and you are definitely gonna skate on a very, very thin ice here, because at the end you will have to make your move. Now that is going to be pretty much inevitable. The situation is going to press you to make your decision, or to make your move generally, or in general. And once you do so, there is no going back from. Now, for example, okay, you are confronted with certain demands, you take it or leave it. You can't stall anymore, you can't negotiate anymore, is that or that, and you will have to make your choice, whether you put up with it and you keep it around, or whether you completely leave it. And this is going to be a final. You cannot hope that, yeah, right now I'm going to quit that job, but because I don't like the conditions. But after that, when they actually resurface one more time, because right now, they are in a rough spot, I will try to get it back. You won't be able to get it back. Or for example, your wife approaches you, it tells you, I cannot put up with that anymore. Me providing constantly, and you, for example, watching TV every day, all day long. You gotta find yourself a job. You either do that or you leave the house. And if you leave the house, you aren't stepping in that house any longer. So you gotta be very mindful what you do at the end of the week when that ultimatum comes about, because make no mistake, Capricorn, it is coming. On a good side, you will have a full understanding on the situation, meaning that all the information is going to be there. Okay, there isn't going to be any catches to it. It is going to be plain and simple for you. On the bad side, it's not even the ego, it's more like the self-righteousness is going to stand in your way. And although you may know that what you are about to do is wrong, you still are going to find yourself inclined doing it, because otherwise it's going to go against your self-righteousness, and your self-righteousness is actually going to slide you down the drain. So be very, very careful. Think with your brain rather than with your ego and with your heart. You definitely gotta put your brain into the matter. Other than that, it's yeah, other than that, that's pretty much the week. It's gonna be a nasty one, and you are having it coming here, so make sure that at the end you will make your choice, or you're gonna make your act in a way that no matter happens, you will not gonna regret it, because either way you win, right? But do you want that to be an achievement or a bit of victory? The choice is yours. Well, imagine then this scene, Ginger. Your daughter is summoned, and her boss tells her that he cannot pay her any longer, okay? At least for the time being, so she's free to leave. But if she stays, she's gonna get, exclusive package should the company resurface. And if your daughter decides to leave, that company is going to resurface. They're never gonna take her back again. Okay, so that's pretty much just an example with the situation of your daughter. Right. Moving on next, we do have Aquarius. Thank you, la, la, la. Thank you, Blue Eyes. Right, first one for Leo, that is going to be the seven of, not for Leo, oh my God, for Aquarius, seven of cups. Moving on next, we do have the five of cups, followed by the ace of wands. And the last one for Aquarius, that is going to be judgment. So we do have those four cards here, okay? And Aquarius is going to be active week for them, for us, because I am rising Aquarius. It seems that there is some kind of a gaining opportunity coming our way. It's just so yeah, gaining opportunity for Aquarius. It is just, it's gonna be very reminiscent, for the lack of a better word, with something we went through back in the days. It could be from our distant future, but it left a sound memory of whatever colossal failure that was before, and that is gonna make us approach this gaining for enterprise that it is coming our way in a very skeptical manner. Okay, like you failed into it before, or into something almost the same, and now how can you enter into it one more time? Well, you definitely can. We definitely can, because we grew. It's as simple as that. And that we shouldn't, how can I put it into words, we shouldn't take it lightly. All right, so the pattern here that we need to adopt, it is that one thing at the time, and that literally is going to allow us this time around, instead of failing again, okay, to pretty much establish it, whether to establish the romantic relationship, or whether to establish some kind of a some kind of an enterprise. So having this week for Aquarius, when that enterprise presents itself in front of us, our immediate impression is going to be that, oh my God, that's like a dream, right? That's like something I would never be able to do. Why? Because I tried and I failed. But that doesn't mean that we're gonna fail again, right? So it's a week where we gotta be literally open for, I would say, anything new, even if it appears as our bravest hopes and our bravest dreams. And one, if we do decide to go with it, and how can I put it into words, and we do one step at a time, instead of daydreaming and kind of like try to stride for five steps instead for the straight of one, things are going to be rather okay. I mean, things are going to develop, and things are going to be unfolding also. So don't be afraid, guys. That's my appeal to you and to myself as well. Well, if you can afford it, why not? Me personally, I don't like vacations. To me, it's a waste of time. But if you do, then do it. I often visit Twitch as well. Into it now. You will be surprised, but I know almost nothing of astrology, okay? Probably you will be surprised. I know nothing of astrology, and people who know me, they can verify that. I know a few star signs, how they behave in a romantic way, but that's pretty much the extent of my astrological knowledge. Ginger, thank you so much for your $5. And by the way, Iraq Pie, I am also a gamer, or at least I was a gamer. These days, I don't play that much video games. It just, there isn't anything good to play. I get bored very, very fast. So finally, we do have Pisces. Yeah, lovely. If you enjoy your home, or you have your home the way you want to have it, then I never played that thing, and I never will. It's not my type of a game. Pisces, Six of Swords, followed by 10 of Wands. Moving on next, that is going to be the Death card. And the final one for you, Pisces, having the 10 of Cups. Liz, thank you so much for your $5. Thank you, Liz. Make sure that you do stick around up until the end, where you're gonna get your personalized reading for the week. All right. For Pisces, that will be an interesting week. I don't know how to classify it. For some of you, it's going to be terrifying, okay? But for others, actually, it's going to be that very needed, a fresh wind that is going to pretty much settle into your life. Because it seems that throughout the week, guys, you will have to traverse certain threshold, okay? It's just after this week, things aren't going to be the same one way or another. Having the Six of Swords at the start of the reading, it pretty much shows that you will have to pretty much make a move that is going to be with unknown consequences. But the thing it is that, and that is exactly what you are going to be afraid of, that, for example, calling that woman or that guy that you like, you don't know how they are going to respond, or even better, sending them a gift via the email, you don't know how they are going to, are they going to say yes or no, right? and you don't know, for example, if you quit your job, are you going to find a new one, but you hate your current job, and so on and so forth. It's just this transition is going to happen into the place where you cannot gain anything more from it any longer. It's pretty much you reach the maximum, and that's pretty much it. And so throughout the week, it will come up that incentive that you have to make something different, you have to make something bold, like seeking another job, you know, like reaching out person you like, but they don't know that you like them, right? That is just for an example. And the thing is that what I like to say here, it is that if you do have a question, whether the question is, hey, are you hiring me or not, or hey, do you like me or not, if you do not answer, if you do not ask that question, the answer is always no, right? The answer is always a negative one. So there is no need for you to delay asking the question, because even if it is a denial, at least you ain't gonna waste your time. You can move on to the next thing. But I don't think that is gonna be a denial. And so the week is gonna be a week of replacement. You will replace something which you don't need anymore with another thing that you would enjoy developing. You may replace one job with another, you may replace one dating option with another, you may replace one hobby with another, and at the end you are just going to find yourself being very happy with that replacement. It's as simple as that. But the process of you replacing, it's going to be a bit scary here. And you will be left with the impression that you need way more work than you are actually needing. So that is going to be intimidating as well, that you are getting yourself into a big mess while it's no mess at all. Right, so that was for the star signs, and now the last free reading is gonna take place. So any of you, if any of you wishes a free reading from me, all that you gotta do, guys, you just input a question into the comments down below that you want me to read for, or with the tarot cards. I'm gonna give you about 5 minutes to do so, and after I am done with that, I am moving to the super chat. Anyone who supports the channel and the stream through super chat, you guys are gonna get the reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much given. And yeah, if you do wish your personal time with me, personal reading with me, you can check out my website, which you're gonna find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you're gonna see a full list of my services, and as well their pricing. Happy birthday, Charlie. You're welcome, Marilyn. Intuit, I don't know about that. Maybe so, maybe not. The only thing I can say is that I haven't studied astrology. This, what book? What are you talking about? Don't get yourself, how can I put it into words? Hyped, right? Don't get yourself hyped, Charlie. If that's the case, it's great, but just don't get yourself hyped, mate. Just see how things are going, and they're going okay. Be happy for it. Yeah. It's like every time you come around, Charlie, you have a new love interest. Oh my God. And I didn't had one in years. I guess you are having them on my account as well. Or you're having one for me. I don't know. Oh, it's getting very late here. Or early, should I say, 4:37 a.m. Yeah. Everybody loves Charlie. Right. Ginger, should you move? Should you buy a house now or should you wait? Let's check it out. Which one is better? Is it? I'm glad you're seeing it that way, Jackie. Okay, Ginger, those are the cards for buying now. Those are the cards for waiting. Well, it seems that if you go for it now, I don't know if you have already found the house, but you will find a house exactly the one you want, okay, or exactly the image that you do have for a house, which is not going to be on the market at the first of the year. All right, first of the year, at least according to these cards, kind of seems a bad option. It's just, no matter how much efforts you put, you're never gonna find, or rather, like, you're never gonna have the deal or the place or whatever in a perfect way. There always gonna be something you don't like with the whole thing. So according to the cards, now is the time, but at the end of the day, this is your investment. You gotta make your own choice. Okay. All right, Charlie, it's your birthday. We have the Empress. Okay, I have the Empress for you. And peaceful. It is the best word I can think of. That is how things are gonna go, at least for now, with that new person of yours. And caring as well. That's great, Ginger. Right. Ella, your reading is going to be at the end, and Anna and Taco, your readings are going to be before the one that I'm going to make for Ella, right? But first, my reading. So, Pisces Moonbeam, you can plug your ears. Coffee, Jackie. I'm drinking coffee. Those are the cards. Many friends. I'm gonna start making friends. That's what they show. This is a Lenormand, guys, and they show events. So pretty much my social circle is going to expand. That's what those cards are showing. It could be one friend, it could be few friends, or it could be a whole community that I'm gonna enter into. So that was my reading. I don't like sweeties, Jackie. I don't eat sweet. I hate cakes and all kind of sweet things. All right, so Pisces Moonbeam, let me check on your question. That is your card. I don't know. Truth be told, I don't know. Still inconclusive with the Queen of Swords. So I would say that there is going to be a build-up, but toward what? Can't say. Oh, when I cannot say, I'm gonna make it up. So yeah. All right, Mattia. What I need to know, immediate guidance. We do have the tower, not the tower, the hangman, with the Knight of Swords, Mattia, and with the King of Wands. The guidance is pretty big though. Consider it guidance for the week, okay? And pretty much the cards are showing is that things are not as they seem, so do not make any rush moves, inconclusive, how can I put it into words, inconclusive moves, or rather like a harsh decisions and harsh actions. This is a week, Mattia, that you should kind of like take it easy. Not only take it easy, but do exactly nothing unless it is pretty much demanded, right? Unless that's the demand, you don't do it at all, because the more you try to influence stuff on your own accord, the worse you are going to make the situation. That is literally the guidance. Things are not as they seem. Karen, your week, it is the 10 of Swords, Karen. So generally that is a week where something is going to catch up with you, right? It is just undeniable and unavoidable situation that you just have to be a part of one way or another. It's just you cannot postpone, you cannot deny it. And that's why, by the way, 10 of Swords, it's unpleasant card. It is because you cannot put it off any longer, and usually is related with quitting a job or getting fired, for example, or having to put up with one thing or another, and so on and so forth, or even being dumped, right? Because it's just undeniable that things aren't gonna work out any longer. That is just in the grand scheme of things For you, Karen, it's a week where you just have to put up with something that you don't want to, but you are going to have to. Next one, Chandra, your card, 10 of Swords with the Justice, 10 of Wands, I'm sorry, with Justice. Your trend continues, Chandra, where you are going to be very busy, all right? There are going to be a lot of responsibilities to taking care of within the next week. And the good thing about the whole that it is that you will have very, how can I put it into words, keen sense knowing how to manage your time, for the lack of a better word, I'm going to say here. And although it's going to be very, very busy week for you, Chandra, at the end you are going to reap good rewards. Primarily addressing your career, but in your love life, if you do have such, you can expect that you have to put up with the person you're with, but at the end, that will pay off in the long run. Ginger, your week here, we do have the Death card with the Strength, and you may lose your cool, right? You may lose your cool throughout the week. There are going to be certain aspects out there, whether interaction with someone or whether just a circumstances which are happening, that is going to throw you off balance. Generally, you are just going to lose it, okay? You will snap few times and so on and so forth, and that is because you will not going to be able to resign yourself about how the things are right now. So wherever you have to be submissive, you are going to be very aggressive. Where you have to be aggressive, you are going to be ignorant, and not ignorant, but inactive, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be a week where you will just going to have a hard time to accept, or rather like in acceptance, so to speak. I don't know what is going to happen there, but the sooner you accept it to be a part of the reality, literally, the better. And finally, examine what no longer serves you and just cut it loose. And finally, we do have Liz. Your card, it is the Queen of Wands with the Page of Swords here, Liz. I don't know if you are in a relationship. I don't know if you do have a family, like, you know, wife or a husband or whatever. But if you are trying to find someone to date with, for example, this week it's amazing for you to do that. Because people are just going to see you very unique with a very strong presence, and it's just people will want to get to know you, let's put it that way. And most of those people are going to be very enthralled. Most of those people are going to be amazed, and we want to continue on being around you, okay? And it wants to continue on getting to know you, and you can use that to pretty much become part of their life. So you will have that, can I put it into words, a pool that is going to create a insatiable hunger, people to be around you. Within your business or within your career, with those two cards, it says that you are going to come up with a very creative, unorthodox, and surprisingly effective solutions to whatever problems you do face into your career. Good night, Karen. Julie, you separated too? Yeah, it's a trend these days. Good night, ladies. All right, Anna. Your first card, That is going to be the Eight of Cups, followed by the second card, which is the Ten of Swords. Afterwards, we do have the Emperor, and the final one, that is going to be the Hermit. So Anna, that is a week. Hold on a second. I'm itchy. So it's an important week because the circumstances will require from you to look to the future rather than to put up with what it is right now. Okay, and what it is right now, you gotta understand that you cannot change it, but just leave it as it is. And also, this is a week where you definitely can establish control over your life, so you can face the ups and downs of your life in a much more bare. This isn't a week where something specific happens, but that is definitely a week where you should not do things that there is no going back from, all right? But instead, kind of like, I know that I'm saying that a lot this live stream, but like take it easy on yourself and on your options, kind of like leave options available, because by the end of the week you're pretty much going to have a very, very good understanding what and how you have to do, what you have to do and how you are going to do it. And it's going to be the only thing that literally makes sense, because it's going to be the only thing that you are going to have control over, and it's going to be the only thing that you will know that is going to grow one way or another. Okay, so it's an important week that you do not, and I want to underline that, you do not make choices that there is no going back from afterwards. And don't weep for situations or people which are turning out not to be as promising as you hoped for, because the future for you holds a much better perspectives. That was your weekly reading, Anna. Moving on next, Taco. All right, Taco. Those are your cards, mate. Six Eights of Cups, followed by Six of Cups. Moving on next, that is going to be the Death card, and the final one, we do have the World. So Taco, I don't know if these cards are referring to your current condition. What they are saying is that what is happening to you right now, this ain't a joke, right? This isn't something you can brush off. It may not be about your condition, it could be about some kind of a different situation, but it's just they're saying that what is going on right now with your life needs to be taken seriously. Okay, and it kind of like it does require I cannot say different approach, more like a renewed, right? Yeah, it's a different, but it is a renewed approach as well. So for example, if it does refer to your health, I bet that the doctors kind of like gave you recommendations, and according to these cards, should you follow these recommendations, you are going to make a huge turnaround and you are going to improve your health like never before, right? But it may not again refer to your health. That is just an example because I know your situation. It could refer to for example, how you conduct business. Okay, that you gotta take that process very, very seriously and rethink certain aspects of how you conduct business that are no longer needed, and literally replace them with a needed aspect, and so on and so forth. So it's a big week, mate. it's for you the very least, it's a week where you are gonna have to put up with some uncomfortable states, okay, where you just gotta put yourself outside of your comfort zone, but it's gonna pay off in a big time, and it's not gonna be that big of a deal because the transition is rather gonna be very, very small. It's like in a matter of a day or two, you're gonna get a hang of it quite quickly, okay? But for you, like for Anna, the future holds much better than what you have to put up with right now. It's just what you need to do is take it seriously and do what it is required, which you, by the way, already know. Having the death card into the third position, it pretty much means that you are having things like, for example, hobbies, lifestyles, people, projects that are pretty much dead, mate. I mean, it doesn't lead you anywhere, and you just have to set them aside. You just have to set them aside, and should you do so, according to these cards, you will be like reborn, right? It will be a rebirth of Taco's life. You're welcome, Anna. All right, and last but not least, we do have Ella. So your request, Ella, was to tell you something good. I don't know if I can do that. Is whatever the card shows, I say. All right, Ella, I'm not going to show the cards because there are actually 8 cards and I just can't hold them in a proper position in my hand. But according to them, let me give you a time frame first, okay? Let me give you a time frame. Well, that is actually very soon, by the start of September, by the start of October. And if you do so, Claudio is not going to be a factor in your life by the time by the start of October at this year, that is. So what you gotta do and what the environment is for the next month, because you can take that as a monthly reading. In fact, it is that you have to gain control over your life. That is pretty clear from these 2 cards that we do have, the Emperor and the Four of Cups, pretty much stating it is that hoping for a miracle isn't coming, right? Or it's not going to be good for you because you are going to lose control over your life one more time, and you gotta aim whatever you own, like whatever you can outer by yourself and does not belong to anybody else. You gotta gain control over it one more time, and you have to rely solely and entirely on it. And once you do so, it seems that we do have these 2 cards. These 2 cards, Ella, Queen of Swords with the Page of Wands. And that will be a new person that shows up, not with a romantic incentive though, at least not at that time, but just the presence of that person, and their, well, I don't know what kind of a role they are gonna play. Only thing I know from these cards it is that they are gonna help you push your things through. They are gonna, by the way, bring up a very, very good news, and through that news and through their presence, teaching most likely, they will remind you actually how strong you are. It could be through examples as well. So you will be reminded how strong you are and that you don't need anyone else, okay, but yourself. It's good to have someone else, but not at all cost. And that itself is gonna help you push your things through and regain back your life. And then Claudio is no longer going to be a factor anymore. You ain't gonna need him. In fact, I do believe by the look of those cards, if you do play your cards correctly, okay, even if he comes begging, you ain't gonna let him in. And the only thing that I need to warn you about here, it's with these two cards, Six of Wands with the Ten of Swords, that is like taking shortcuts to numb your emotional discomfort, like alcohol, like drugs, you know, like random sex, and so on and so forth. You don't do that. You do not look for one night stands or one time things, okay? This is something you don't need. That is opposite of gaining control. That is like losing control. And by the start of October, end of September, start of October, you do have those two cards, Ella, and they just speak that you will feel, it's not like feeling new, but you will feel like you have closed a chapter of your life, kind of like you are turning over the page, and on the new page the story is going to be as good or as bad as you make it. Now I'm saying that because the last two cards are pretty much opening up your future to be as you want it to be, or as you do, as you decide to make it. You decide to kneel, then your future is going to be submissive. You decide to be strong, then your future is going to be strong, and so on and so forth. But you are definitely closed that chapter, and you're going to have no need to look back. Okay, that is how those cards stands. And in my book, the very least, that is something good. It is something positive. So that's gonna do it, guys, for tonight. Thank you so much for sticking around and your support. Thank you so much for your generosity as well. We are gonna see each other very, very soon, and until then, bye.